Welcome back, guys. We're at the third set of the night. This is the final set that we're going to cover tonight. It's going to be between Kaldi and Ignite. We saw Ignite face off against Saviz just earlier. Ended up taking that one quite decisively with his Tiger Uppercut Hunter deck. And we have the bans that have come in, and Kaldi has chosen not to ban Hunter. Instead, he banned Shaman. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very, very interesting choice, but it tells me that his Warlock is probably handlocked. He doesn't feel that confident in his matchup with Shaman versus Warrior, and the Druid matchup isn't that strong, so I could see banning Shaman, but I don't think the Druid or the Warrior matchup is as bad as he thinks it is. At least not enough to not ban Hunter.
Actually, a fairly interesting thing is Ignite banned the Warlock of Kaldi, so the Warlock is irrelevant in this case.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was predicting his opponent banning Shaman.
Hold on a second. I actually don't have the deck lists of Kaldi. 1 second. Do you? Nope. No, we don't have him. But we're going to a game. Have no idea what Kaldi can pick from. But Ignite opened up with Miracle Rogue in the matchup against Saviz. Saviz went with it twice. There has to be some kind of strategy to it. Kaldi is running a Warlock, Warrior, Druid, Shaman, and had his Warlock banned, so his choices are between Warrior, Druid, and Shaman.
And it looks like he started out Shaman.
Yeah. I mean, Shaman is from what we've seen in recent tournaments, a very good class against everything except the Rogue decks. And Ignite did not open with Rogue, so I mean, not too bad. Opened up with Handlock, in fact. Now,
yeah, actually one of his favorite matchups.
It is favorite if it is the double Doomhammer special thing, I believe. But if it is the traditional Shaman deck, I think it's, fairly even, is it not?
Well, if the
I
Shaman
see the Unbound. I think the Unbound means it's a pretty traditional Shaman deck.
Well, Unbound's also in the double Doomhammer deck as well. It's one of those big damage cards. Imagine it with all those cards like Lava Burst, Lightning Bolt, Doomhammer.
Oh, that's right. That's
really
right.
Big pretty quickly.
I thought I saw a few lists that were running Harvest Golem instead of the Unbound, though.
Did they run Undertaker, or were they just running just Harvest Golem?
I think that was your list, actually. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about that.
Yeah, it's just for ladder. In tournaments, I would for sure play Unbound Elemental. That card's really good.
Well, Ignite has a great hand here with Jirax if he doesn't get bursted down. He's got the double Mountain Giant.
And his opponent only has 1 Hex. Wow.
Still a pretty strong turn. I mean, yeah, you play a Mountain Giant, but you run into all that garbage with the taunt.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the Watcher draw is huge.
Yeah, it gives him something to use the Shadow for. Yeah, Lava Burst. We have a Doomhammer deck.
Alright. Well, we don't have the Doomhammer, but we do have board control. We have a few answers to the Warlock's cards. And even though I feel the Warlock has a very strong hand, he might just not get a chance to play it.
Yeah, I can see this not working out for the Warlock. The Warlock is not going to be able to handle all that burst. He's already got Lava Burst, Rock Biter, Fire Elemental. Fire Elemental's going to come down.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's going to be Fire Elemental. I think it might just be the Flame Tongue and a bunch of little creatures.
Yeah, Flame Tongue, or you could Blood Mage plus Lava Burst, and then trade off one of the one attack taunts.
You think you really have to kill at 8/8 right now?
Probably not, no. But if he opts not to, we know it won't work out for him. So it looks like he's going for the Lava Burst.
Okay. Well, there's a Molten Giant. There is some play around those, and with this many cards in the Warlock's hand, I think that's reasonable. I think he won't actually get a great turn to drop that card, but I'm thinking what can really be done here. I mean, when you're staring at that many creatures, you know there's some buffs to them. You know that you can't just. Yeah, like I don't like the Loatheb here.
Well, yeah, but there isn't much going on in his hand. If he played something like Twilight Drake, he's so prone to getting Earthshock, and if he opts for the Shadow Flame plus Watcher, he doesn't actually kill the Unbound, which is the actual threat on the board.
Mm-hmm. What do you think he's saving the coin for? You think he's going to save the coin for Jiraxxus?
I just don't think he's had a good coin play.
He could have played Mountain Giant, Coin, Ancient Watcher, I think the turn before the last.
Didn't he tap Mountain Giant?
Yep.
I guess that could work. Not a lot of great plays here. Kind of feel like you have to do the Watcher Shadow Flame, or maybe the Siphon Soul. But all these plays just seem really weak.
What would you even Siphon the Unbound? You can set up for a decent Shadow Flame.
Yeah, I suppose so. He's got to get his life low enough that he can play the Molten Giant without being.
Yeah, but that's obviously not going to work. Like, Kaldi is playing around that, and now he's got a Doomhammer. And I feel like you don't even use the Doomhammer here. I think you surprise him.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe Fire Elemental and Totem, because then you can kill him on the next turn.
Yeah, I like that.
If he doesn't taunt up.
I think you Fire Elemental base and then not attack.
Yeah. You can't put him into Molten Giant range at all. You can't give him an option to taunt up because you don't actually have any good removal for it. You have to trade in a lot of your damage.
Yeah, he's choosing to draw. No, that card doesn't help too much, but if he keeps his board, he gets to kill him, but we know that he's not keeping his board. That board is gone.
But still, I don't see a lot of ways to keep your life total high enough to stay alive to the Doomhammer combos.
I feel like you might even Owl this turn. I think like Owl the draw, and then Ancient Watcher Shadow Flame is the play.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, he's making it.
Well, he's got to deny the draw. His opponent having too many options to kill him, which is a very bad thing in this game. Because it comes down to the handlock grinding the Shaman out of cards, or the Shaman just killing you. Shaman doesn't have too many good plays, but Fire Elemental and Feral Spirit is pretty strong. And it does give him lethal next turn.
Yeah. The reason I don't like that too much is it's not really that sticky.
Yeah, but you can't really be that afraid of the second Shadow Flame. Of course, we know Ignite has it, but from the Shaman point of view.
Oh, is he going for it?
I think he's committed to it now.
We haven't actually seen the Warlock running oozes or anything like that. Like in general, we haven't seen it adapt to this type of Shaman.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past Ignite to have some sort of answer, whether it be taunts or something to protect from the Doomhammer Shaman. It's one of the decks he was very, very afraid of going to this tournament.
Funny enough, Kaldi, I don't believe has lethal. I think he's one off right now. And oh man, I was
Now
gonna say that might be one of those Soulfire face plays.
Nope, just giant coin Sun Fury.
Yep. Super strong. Turns out that Doomhammer hit was a bit of an issue there.
Yeah, it set up his opponent to actually have a really, really strong board now. And
I think
if he gets
if you get the spell damage totem and you get a good lightning storm, you can kind of make this work, but still it's quite poor. Nope.
no, and you even have to give up your Rock Biter to do it too.
I think here his only play is to fill the board with little taunt creatures.
Yeah. I don't think you can just play the Lightning Storm. Doesn't seem right. Do you play the second Feral Spirits? Or do you play the Lightning Storm?
Lightning Storm just doesn't feel like it's worth playing in that spell damage. Like, what if he hits them each for 2? He basically did nothing.
He literally did nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes for it. I can't blame him for that play at all. It's a pretty nice Shadow Flame. Above average, I'd say.
Above average, yeah.
And that's actually lethal if Soulfire doesn't discard Soulfire.
Do you think he's gonna go for it? He's already in such control.
Oh no, it's not. It's 2 off. My mistake. Oh, I suck at counting, I guess.
That's okay, me too. Caster's Curse.
Yeah, he's got a Lava Burst and not much mana to cast much else. What is he hoping for here? 3 on each? Wow, he gets it, but like... What then? Okay.
Hope you're not dead.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Like, it felt like the Shaman was dominating the whole game. And just those 2 points of damage on the face with that greedy Doomhammer hit that didn't even lead into lethal cost them the game. You have to chalk that up as a misplay, don't you? I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I understand getting the Warlock lower, but if you can't kill him next turn, getting him to 15 seems potentially catastrophic, and that's exactly what was realized there.
Maybe he was taking a risk that his opponent didn't have 2 Molten Giants and Sun Fury Protector, but just giving him that opening when the game was completely in your favor just did not seem right, yeah.
Or perhaps, like, he forgot that the handlock still had the coin in hand, because that might be a factor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he was factoring in all of those things. The Fire Elemental probably would have just been lethal, though, if he just played it.
Well, that's how it ends up. Ignite takes another round. Ignite's doing quite well in the tournament. Right now, he's actually 4-1 in terms of the games. We're going to give Kaldi a little bit to choose a different class. He has to choose among his remaining decks, which are Warrior and Druid. And I don't believe either of those are particularly good against Handlock, so I think Kaldi has a pretty upscale battle ahead of him. But, you know, we've seen some pretty interesting things go down so far, so it won't be too surprising if a comeback is made here. So we'll check that out when it happens, and that'll be in a few minutes. I'll see you guys then. Welcome back, guys. We're gonna hit up the second game between Ignite and Kaldi. Ignite is up his first game with Handlock. Handlock is a pretty consistent deck against anything that doesn't rush it down, and we don't know exactly what Kaldi has chosen, but it's between Warrior and Druid. I know the Warrior really doesn't fare quite well at all, but what do you think about the Druid matchup if he is playing the double combo Druid that pretty much everyone is playing these days? You think that has much of a chance against Warlock?
I think it has a better chance than maybe Warrior. He could be playing Big Game Hunter, which is another swing card in the matchup. And on the latter, there have been a little bit of variations in the Druid deck. Some people running Alexstrasza with Shaded Nostramus, some people running a single copy of Spellbreaker. We could be seeing a lot of interesting things from the Druid as well. But it is not completely one-sided. But if I had to pick a favorite, I would definitely pick the Handlock.
Yeah, I think at this point in the tournament, really, Ignite is quite far ahead of Kaldi. I mean, the Handlock is not likely to go down to either of these decks, and even if it does, he gets to select counters from his remaining two.
Yeah, for sure. Both players have a very strong opening hand, with the Warlock having the Mountain Giant, and the Druid having Coin and Wild Growth with a perfect curve.
Yep, the 3 with the Shade, 4 Yeti, 5 Azure.
This will be a very, very interesting game. I wasn't picking the Druid as the favorite, but with a hand like this, man, you never know.
Do you think that Druid of the Claw is going to come down before the Azure?
No, I think it'll probably be used as burst damage later. If he can get the board control, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you only draw the Savage Roar, and having the Druid of the Claw in hand is a pretty big deal.
Wow, this curve is perfect. Do you swing with the Shade here?
No. No way.
Hellfire.
think if it gets hellfired, that's just whatever at this point.
That's true.
Well, no good answer to the Mountain Giant, unfortunately. I think it might be time to go face.
Yeah, I like going face here. Double trading just seems really bad, especially when your follow-up is just an Azure Drake or Druid of the Claw. Or Spectral Knight off the top, yeah. Spectral Knight is good against Handlock as well. Dodges Siphon Soul, which is a pretty big deal. Handlock doesn't have very good answers to it, but it isn't that scary if you have a Mountain Giant play.
I think here I would just Azure Drake.
Yeah. If you Azure Drake, you're gonna go face, right?
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
I would consider leaving the Shade back, but I would not consider dropping them both in. Yeah. Seems to be a little bit out of sync. We saw the Mountain Giant already in play. He does the Mountain Giant Soulfire, playing a bit defensive, which is certainly the right play with his hand. You have very, very high sustain. I mean, with 2 Sunfury Protector, 2 Giants already in play, a Belcher and a Molten Giant, that is so much of taunt health to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to make sure you stay alive here. Yeah, with that Faceless on the Mountain Giant, it's looking pretty good. Just a real good play here. Trades in his Shade.
You think Kaldi is doing kind of like the same thing? He's trying to prolong the game to draw into a combo?
Yeah, I think that's what he's leaning towards now. Because playing a Yeti kind of forces a trade. But with the Earthen Ring draw, it's not going to be as effective. Let's look at this. He's just going to heal up. Taunt up. And hit face.
Oh, he's... Ignite's out for blood, man.
He's just trying to kill him, man. Giants don't hit minions. Well, usually.
I don't think I'd blame him if he attacked there, though.
Yeah, nothing really punishes him if he gets the attack in. Like, maybe a swipe, but even then swipe isn't that great. But a 8/7 Mountain Giant is pretty great.
Well, he does the Wild Growth, which pretty much signals the Cenarius play next turn. But if things go really badly, he may have to Ancient of Lore for options.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, things are gonna go really badly.
Yeah.
I think we have the Giant into the 4/6, the 2/3 into the 4/2, and some Belcher action. I think you could even tap here. I think you're quite safe. Oh no, he's going face.
No, he's out for blood. He's just trying to kill him. I like it.
Yeah,
you gotta put a clock on the Druid.
Seems very strong. Because, I mean, even if you Cenarius here, what do you really do? Well, you drew the Innervate. But again, what does that do?
Maybe kills the top half of the Belcher.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
But you take 3 damage for doing that. If he had a Wrath, that would be a bit different, but he currently has no other option.
No, I think he's just. I think you have to do the Innervate play though, because then you're just losing your taunts right away.
Mm-hmm. Well, as it turns out, he is losing his taunts right away anyway.
Yes.
Oh my.
Ooh, and that's lethal.
Pull up a chair,
the BM, sorry there. The BM tap too.
To be fair, he only needed 1 damage and he was in a very dominating spot. So,
yeah.
That's just whatever. Kaldi is really on the back of this set of matches after dropping the game with the Shaman. It's kind of interesting. I mean, Kaldi chose to ban the Shaman of Ignite. Yet
Yeah, his entire lineup loses to Handlock.
Well, the Shaman does quite well, but if the Shaman doesn't pull through, he loses with the rest. It feels like, you know, there's always this type of like deck curve. Like, you know, decks beat other decks and all that. But it seems in this case it's fairly bad against Handlock all over.
Yeah, I think he wasn't expecting his Shaman to lose to the Handlock. It's a very favorite matchup.
So we've just been informed that we're going to go through the next match just because Kaldi doesn't have much to choose from. We're not going to have downtime here. It's going to be match number 3. This is match point essentially for Ignite. All he has to do is not lose to a control warrior. And in my experience, these matchups are heavily based on the result of brawls. And even then, I mean, I've seen in recent tournaments that some of these matchups run with double brawls, but in general, I haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah, I think you see it from a very specific set of players. Like, I see it a lot from the C9 guys, but I don't see it a lot from anyone else. I do think 2 brawl is correct, though.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it does seem the player's taking a bit of a break, but that's alright. We can talk about what's going on. I actually haven't seen too much of Ignite in recent tournaments, but he has taken away this one quite well. We saw the Hunter deck pull through all of Saviz's lineups, and now we're seeing the Handlock, so 2 very dominant decks. And his third was the Face Rogue, basically, which, I mean, it feels like it's one of those decks that you can just win every now and then to anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. His Rogue deck is very good against control, which if you lose your Handlock to like a ban or something, could be very strong. Because remember, he didn't have his Warlock against Savage either. So now, his Rogue was his control killer.
Maybe you know this a little bit better, but what does it take for the warrior to win? Like, he mulliganed out the brawl, and from what I've seen in any game that any warrior has won against the Handlock, the brawl was part of it.
Maybe he plays Big Game Hunter in his deck. Maybe he was looking for Big Game Hunter. He was definitely looking for the Spellbreaker for Twilight Drake. Executes, shield slams. Basically just surviving the early game beatdown from the Handlock. And then you get to play your legendaries to try and catch up. But we don't see much going on in the hand of the warrior.
And we see the turn 4 Mountain Giant is going to come down again. Possibly the Twilight Drake. What do you think? When you have both, which do you go with? Well, coining signifies the Twilight Drake.
Yeah, I think I like the Twilight Drake here. He wants to attack off the armor, and he wants to get a couple more life taps in, so he can just outcard the warrior. Because the hero powers don't exactly match up. The warrior just gains life while the Handlock gains cards.
I feel you have a few options here. I feel you can Death's Bite face, and then next turn you could silence and have the secondary effect clear the Drake.
That could work, for sure. You have to get the Death's Bite in play somehow. But feel like you might want that for an execute, so you might just use a Spellbreaker now. Senjin also blocks it if he doesn't expect the Mortal Coil, but I would expect the Mortal Coil from Handlock.
I don't like the Senjin. I don't really like the Silence either.
Attacking
directly
Drake.
in. There we go.
That's a man move right there.
That pretty much means I don't have a Silence. Please play another one, right?
Yeah, basically. Actually, if he did play another one, he would get blown out. So it's very interesting to see what happens here. I don't know if I like that as much, attacking it, because he doesn't have a good follow-up on turn 5. Like, I could definitely see attacking it if you had a Belcher. But now you just have no armor. Like, if you draw Shield Slam, you can't even kill the Mountain Giant, basically. He's for sure going to attack in. He's already committed to it. Senjun comes down.
I think that pretty much means that the Spellbreaker in his hand is the lone Spellbreaker in the deck then.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Tap, Mountain Giant. Soulfire.
Oh, Belcher down.
Belcher not such a big of a deal in this matchup, which probably is one of his better discards, I think. If the Giant survives, which is looking like...
Nope.
Ooh! Guess not.
Not even close.
Not today.
Well, I guess that's what it's going to take for the Warrior to win. Another Giant, another big game, right?
Right.
Or an Execute.
Yeah.
An Execute. Or a Shield Slam?
He doesn't currently have it, but...
Wait, hold on. He can kill it with the board, it just requires some Cruel Taskmasters. So I think you can shield block here to see what your draw is. And if it's nothing, I think it's Cruel Tasking time.
Yeah, I like that for sure. Either way, you have to kill the Mountain Giant.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I don't see this working out in his favor.
Okay. That is alright.
Ooh.
It just kind of loses the silence, and loses the silence on a heal, and he had the silence and just drew the heal.
Yeah, it definitely loses to the silence and the heal, but it also loses to Earthen Ring and Shadow Flame.
Oh, I see. He does get a bit of armor, but loses it immediately.
And he's running out of options fast. Very, very fast.
Well... Oh, he got the Shield Slam. I was gonna say Grom is an option. He doesn't die to the Mountain Giant alone.
Yeah, but he dies to the Mortal Coil. That'd be pretty rough getting your Grom Mortal Coil. Plays Lotheb.
Well, it looks like keeping the silence here is gonna pay off. If you can do Silence Cruel Task, I think that's... Well, if you do that, you commit to getting your opponent to 14, which has other repercussions, but there's your answer. Wow.
That's a nice draw. That's a very, very nice draw.
But do you think you might need the Cruel Task for Gromash? Because, I mean, it's your last Cruel Task. You got one more Death Spite in the deck. Maybe you're running a Whirlwind. You know, that's kind of an option card. If you see the ghouls, often you don't see the Whirlwind.
I like attacking there. It doesn't put your opponent into Molten Giant range of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of play do you think you'll see from Ignite here?
I was going to start with Mortal Coil. And I think it's going to follow up with Lotheb.
Yeah, okay, I like Lotheb.
You can't really use the only Siphon Soul in your hand on that.
No, I don't think so.
And what else can you really do?
You play Lotheb.
Tap Lotheb. I mean, I don't think there are any combination of cards that kills you if you tap Lotheb, but... Oh, that's a good tap. Now you Lotheb Soulfire for sure. Oh, he discarded some worthless garbage. So that's premium right there. I don't think you could have asked for a better draw and a better discard.
Oh, definitely not. He's got complete control again. He's actually 1 damage away from getting lethal by just the Grom and the Taskmaster. So it was a very good pickup with the Soulfire. Shield Slam here, because you're not going to have the armor to do it ever again.
But what can you really hope for here? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Honestly, not much.
Death's Bite is about it, right? You get Death's Bite, and you brawl, and you hope you get a good one.
Yeah, basically. Belcher gives him a bit of stall, but he doesn't know his opponent plays Black Knight. Or has it, sorry.
Well, even with Black Knight on the board, that's kind of good. That puts up a bunch of targets. Like, Ignite, he might make the mistake of playing too many things right now. Like, if it's Black Knight and taunts some stuff up, that might end really badly. Nope, doesn't make that mistake.
We're seeing a lot of very, very smart play from Ignite here.
Yep.
Playing his handlock deck perfectly. Execute might help here.
I think you drop your win condition, but if you brawl right now, you also drop your win. So what can you really do? You have to just pass. He passes. Oh my god. There's an ooze in the handlock though.
Pass to take 17. Wow, we didn't see that in any of the
before?
games.
No, I haven't.
Very nice deck by Ignite. And his opponent's down to 12 health. He has to make some play.
That's not a very good one.
Nope.
Harrison Brawl? Harrison Brawl?
If
you win, you have lethal.
If you win, you have lethal if so many things don't happen.
Yep.
But you can't give up your win condition.
Yep. I'm guessing the Molten Giant wins. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Black Knight.
Just a Yeti. Just a Yeti.
12. Can he... No, he can't. He can't finish here. Now, again, I've seen a lot of warrior decks run double brawl. At least in the tournament scene. Probably just because of handlock, honestly. And now, I feel like he's not actually playing around it too well.
He doesn't need to play around it in this spot. If his opponent brawls here, got a completely stacked hand. At least 1 minion in play. 14 life. And your opponent just used a brawl. Their last brawl. Ragnarok's not going to cut it. But he's not dead yet.
I think he is. I think he is dead to the silence. Is he not? So it's 6 plus 4 plus 3, 13. No, he's 2 off.
Well, he's going to count again, just to be sure.
Why would you not draw access there? I'm kind of curious. What would be the merit?
I don't know, honestly. Draxxing there definitely seems correct. Especially because you saw your opponent use Harrison Jones.
Yeah. No, Rag misses. Well, maybe because he's low on cards, he might be afraid of dying to fatigue.
Yeah, maybe. But that'll be it. 3-0
Ignite sweeps. Ignite goes 3-0 against Kaldi, 3-1 against Saviz. Very, very decisive games. That is the last set of matches we're going to cast tonight. Tomorrow we're going to come back at it. We're going to start up the show, I think it's 7 p.m. CEST. And tomorrow's schedule, you guys can see. Can it actually be seen on the stream itself? Let's see. Yeah, I think if you guys click the official website under the description of the stream, you guys can see the information on the schedule there. And it's not entirely accurate. We're not going to go over Kaldi versus Saviz today. We do know that even if Saviz beat Kaldi, he cannot advance because he lost both the games that we cast with him today. But if Kaldi beats Saviz, that does mean he's still in the tournament, I believe, even though he lost against Ignite just now. But if Saviz beat Kaldi, that does mean that
that both of those players are out of the tournament.
Yeah, I think so. Well, no, because Thijs only won one game